Hey everybody, this is Mama Eagle coming to you from the Eagle's Nest. How's everybody doing? Hugging y'all with my prayers. I know that there is a lot going on in the world right now. Those of you who watch the news are probably uh, concerned on many different levels. Those of you who don't watch the news are probably picking up on things in the ethers or dream time, what have you. Anyway, it's important to know that there are always ancestors, angels, helpers around us 24/7. Um, ever since I followed the higher guidance of myself and my twin in sharing the sacred truth, to trump all the other nonsense. There's been nothing but miracles, synchronicity, miracles, allies. Maya Angelou's cousin coming in to thank me at my work, and I just heard the best is yet to come. So I wanted to share this with you. I'm actually being asked to come on here at 4:04, which is interesting because 4:04 tends to be the number you look for something. It says 4:04 not found. By a very special person who I've never met, but was very influential in the spiritual communities, still is. Ironically, was interviewed by one of the VIPs that asked me to help with the situation with the first Marine, if you guys have read my story. But that person is Sylvia Browne, and actually said to title this video Sylvia Browne. And the story goes, the reason she's wanting me to share the story with you, apparently she's one of my guides now, helping me above and beyond any, as she calls it, waves coming into the shore or going out to sea. That happens when you share sacred truth. The only people that are ever upset about you sharing a sacred truth are the ones who aren't necessarily living up to their full potential yet, kind of thing, right? Since there's no good, there's no bad, there's just wounded and healed. But there's two reasons she's wanting me to share this truth with you. One, I'm hearing the term legitimacy, but two, I'm hearing integrity. So a long time ago, one of my relatives got me a book of hers. I don't know anything about her. I don't know where she was born. I don't know her story. I'm prefacing the video with this because some people will be like, oh yeah, Wikipedia, whatever. I've never, I don't have time for that kind of stuff as a single parent working 2 and 3 jobs kind of thing, right? So anyway, one of my relatives got me one of her books like years ago. I don't even remember how long ago, because she wanted me to meet her. Not because she wanted me to read the book or, whatever. She wanted me to meet her because she said she does the same kind of work that you do, and I have a feeling that you're going to be learning from her, maybe even helping her in some way, which, to me was a huge honor. Even not knowing anything about her, I knew that she's for real. Always has been, always will be, kind of a thing, right? Because energy people just sense that from other energy people. And if you're a healer, teacher, whatever, you get what I'm saying. And if not, you'll get it eventually. So, long story short, when you're an integral teacher, energy reader, healer, what have you, right? It's funny, my counter just hit 4:04. Thanks, Sylvia. You want to make sure that whatever you're putting out into the world, it's kind of like being a parent, when you're raising your kids, you want to make sure that you're raising them to be honest and courteous and courageous and responsible and all this jazz, right? Well, being a healer, energy, whatever, is the same thing. You want to make sure that the information, the visions you're relaying, the sources, whatever you want to call it, is integral, because what helps one helps all. What enslaves one enslaves all. What frees one frees all. It's really that simple. So I was sitting there and I was praying, I know certain people are going to have their feathers ruffled, about me having the audacity to, explain the horrible situations that we went through and transcended and are trying to transform to help others, whatever. It's always like that. But it's, after every storm comes a rainbow. Sometimes the rainbow is naturally created. Sometimes we grab our markers and we paint our own rainbow if we have to. We take the pen back from people that stole it from us and we write our own happy ending that hopefully brings healing to everybody reading it, and including the people that tried to dim our light or stop it or whatever. So anyway, I was sitting there praying and I had gotten a message from an amazing lady. Her name's Divine Maverick. You guys hear me talk about her a lot. Encouraging me to share my story because it was going to free people that wouldn't be freed any other way. People that had little bits and pieces of my story but didn't have the whole thing. Not in a way where, oh, I have to connect with this person or this and that and the other has to happen, but just giving someone the key. It's like, eagles are not meant to be in cages. Here's your key. You want to fly? Fly. You want to come back with me and celebrate? Celebrate. You don't? Blessings on your journey wherever you go. But I was still praying because that's what I do. People that know me, that's what I do, right? So I was praying and I felt her energy come in. And I was like, what in the heck is this? Well, the book that I had been given all these years ago started glowing. And I went, okay, this is interesting. Anybody's ever seen Celestine Prophecy, when something starts glowing, bioluminescence, whatever it is, there's always a message in it for you. So I hear her say, do you know who this is? And I said, well, yeah, you're Sylvia Browne. You're the one that wrote this book. And she said, yes. And she said, I have a message for you. And I said, well, how do I know that it's really you? And she said, the person that messaged you at 1:44 today? And I said, yes. And she said, I want you to open my book that you've never read to page 144 and find your answer. And I said, okay. So I opened the book to page 144, and lo and behold, I even took a screenshot of it and sent it to my friend. I said, oh my God, the person that messaged me at 144, part of her name is Maverick. And the passage was talking about, how the pyramids were really constructed and this, that, and the other. So it was very magical. It's funny, my counter just hit 747. And there it was. And I said, okay, I see you can do this once. I want to see if you can do it a second time. This time I want to tune in specifically to sharing my story. And she said, okay, so what's the number you've been seeing all day today? I said, 234. I said, as in step 1 is complete. Now we're going on to 2, 3, and 4, right? So she started laughing. And she said, okay, fine. Turn my book to page 234. And this is a message that's specific to your story. I'm like, okay. So I turn it to 234. Sure enough, the entire chapter was about a mythical figure that I had affectionately referred to in my story, in my memoir, and I was laughing so hard that there could not have been a discrepancy or, whatever the heck. There was absolutely no denying that it was her, that, her mojo is just as amazing as ever, that she's helping me with the next stage of my journey, which means that she's going to be helping me to shield my ohana, help my ohana, free my ohana, whatever term is fine. I just saw 911, which is either emergency or emergence, right? So that means even more allies are going to be emerging. But I was like dumbfounded, you guys, like just floored, And I asked her, I said, you're not here anymore, are you? And she said, no. She said, I haven't been for a while. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? And she says, well, suffice it to say, I ascended. And I said, okay, I'm an Aquarian, I'm a triple Aquarian, I'm a Dakini, I get it, you ascended. So, I'm saying all this to say, not only that Sylvia Browne is flipping amazing, and not only that I'm like what's the word? Blew my mind that someone as phenomenal as her. I mean, at first Maya Angelou's cousin comes in and thanks me for honoring her relative. Now Sylvia Browne is popping in and validating not only that it's her, but that, some humble missing piece that I was guided to put out there in honor of elders that saw something in me to be able to help, that she's here. And she was validating other people that are around that are helping me to help my Ohana, to, help the people that we promised that we were going to help, above and beyond all this twisted hoji poji, whatever the heck, And some of those people she were talking about was like Madame Blavatsky and Manly P. Hall. And, Manly P. Hall I understand because he was friends with my buddy George, who was 33rd degree Master Mason. If you guys have read my story, you get it, right? There was absolutely nobody like George. And to know that George was friends with Manly, that's just amazing. So, you're talking about all this like theosophical, stuff, but it's all interconnected. So I'm saying all this to say, Sylvia's saying, anybody that misses her being able to do readings for them is free to contact me so that I can, she can help them through me, right? But also that, it's really important when you're walking as a healer or a teacher or channel or anything like that to really cross-reference your stuff. A lot of people in this day and age have a tendency to take things literally. We live in a culture that is way too politically correct. Poor George Carlin, he was always telling Robin Williams always telling the truth. And, all kinds of alphabet soup organizations really had a problem with that. But, the sacred truth is sacred truth. It's resolute and it's absolute. You can't pick it apart. You can't whatever. You just have to let it pass through you in a good way and trust that it's going to connect with good people in a good way who are going to share it with other good people in a good way or healed people in a good way, right? So that we can all access our wisdoms, our gifts, our abilities that we came here with to not only elevate our vibration, right, but to help elevate the vibration of people around us, to help elevate the vibration of our communities. My hands are getting so hot right now. Our state, our nation, the world, the universe, each time one of us elevates our vibration, it elevates everybody else. My divine masculine told me one time, he said, you want to get to where you need to go, raise your vibration. And I was pissed. I'm like, well, how the heck can I raise my vibration any more than it already is? And then I started working with solfeggios and Tibetan mantras and, all kinds of stuff. So, he knows his stuff. I wish more people would listen to what he has to say because he's always known his stuff, and that kind of stuff doesn't diminish, it doesn't go away, it doesn't atrophy, it's always there, so it's good to see him getting his mojo back. I would call it dojo mojo, but I'm told that means something totally different, so I won't call it that. But I will say that Sylvia is saying right now it's really important for us to listen to the 369 vibration, which is the Tesla frequency. She told me to start listening to that. As soon as I found that book, more miracles started happening. This crow landed next to me the other day, and it was so close, like I could have stroked its chest. The energy around it, the aura around it, it was basking in our light. It was basking in delight. People ask me, like, what are you doing right now? Basking in delight. Design is delight, and delight is design monarch. Makes me think of Scuttles from Ariel. Somebody just said dingle hopper. Get you a dingle hopper. But if you're going to be doing light work, you're gonna have to enlighten your load. You're gonna be enlightening the way for people. Just, being sure of your information is one thing, but being able to cross reference with people who mastered the art of balancing spirit and material, just trying to get things out in the best way to help piece the rest and best together is important. So if you guys need any help with that, I keep hearing TCB, taking care of business. I'm happy to help however I can. Just know, that I always try and cross-reference whatever I'm picking up on, just to try and share it in a good way. And I hope this helps other people to do it too. If anybody wants me to ask Sylvia anything for you, in a good way, let me know. Oh, you hear the crow in the background? Crow says hi. Love you guys all with all my heart, from the bottom of my heart, hugging you with my prayers. I'll talk with you soon. Namaste, optimistic. Aho, Madoka Yayase.